you, Senator Cotton. Senator Shaheen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Tata, I appreciate the service that you and your family have provided to this country. I think you are rightly proud of that. I'm proud of the service that I and my family, my father, my husband, my son-in-law have provided to the country, the service that we provided to our communities. But while I appreciate your service, I don't appreciate your partisan tweets, your partisan statements on Fox News and other outlets. I don't think that's helpful to heal the divide in this country. I don't appreciate that because I'm a Democrat, you say that I would support Hamas or Hezbollah or Iran. I've spent my whole career in the Senate doing everything I can to fight Hezbollah and Hamas and Iran. And while we may disagree on how best to do that, I don't think we should question people's motives who are trying to serve this country. So I hope that Senator Tillis is correct, that you've learned from those past statements and how inappropriate and divisive they are, and that you're going to take a different approach if you're confirmed for this position.
Senator, those were out-of-character comments. I regret making those comments. 5 years ago, I submitted an apology letter to this committee about those comments. I have 45 years of solutions-oriented leadership. That was out of character. I regret it, and I can guarantee you that I will be, if confirmed, an apolitical leader that is trying to take care of the men and women in uniform and their families and the DoD civilians.
Thank you. In February, Secretary Hegseth announced a reduction in force at DoD to cut up to 75,000 workers. And on March 18th, the acting Undersecretary of Defense for PNR issued guidance directing that, and I quote, positions at depots, shipyards, arsenals, and maintenance facilities would be exempt from the current civilian hiring freeze. I visited the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard along with Senator King last month and with the new Secretary of the Navy. And we were informed that nearly 150 personnel have received initial job offers from the shipyard, but they haven't been able to begin their hirings because they've not been fully processed. So that means we have critical roles that are open. One of the suggestions for the delay was because of the work of OPM, the Office of Personnel Management. So if confirmed, you will oversee civilian hiring for DoD. How will you work with your counterparts and other agencies to eliminate those kinds of bureaucratic holdups? How do we move those hires that are in the pipeline?
Senator, I share your concern, particularly when this body and the president have all said they want to build more ships. If we have welders, for example, off-ramping through the deferred resignation program, we've got a hiring freeze, we've got other cuts of probationary personnel. If confirmed, and I get into the position, one of my priorities will be aligning national security and national defense priorities like shipbuilding with personnel policy to see where the gaps are, how can we accelerate, for example, shipbuilding if we don't have welders to weld the ships, to use a very simple example. But I imagine that there's several different examples such as this, and if confirmed, I look forward to immediately figuring out where those gaps are and aligning them with the national security priorities of this body and of the president.
Well, I appreciate that, and I certainly agree that we need to look at all of our policies if we're going to address shipbuilding. Our public shipyards, of course, do maintenance and repair on our ships as opposed to shipbuilding, but it's the same challenge, and I think we need to better align what we're trying to accomplish with the policies that we put in place. Ms. Sutton, thank you for being here and for your service to this committee. We've seen, as other questioners have said, an increase in cyber attacks over the last few years. They've affected our infrastructure. Do you think it's important to maintain our forward posture in offensive cyber operations against Russia, and that among our other adversaries, that that's important to our national defense?
Senator, I couldn't agree with you more. One of the unique challenges in the cyber domain is the threats that we face every day, and it's not just from a single adversary. It ranges from highly capable nation states like China, Russia, and Iran, down to criminals engaging in ransomware for financial motives. And to be successful, we're going to have to counter all of those and keep our focus on all of the threats that we face.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Shaheen.